Hello, my name is Mr. Sanchez. I'm a reading teacher from Houston, Texas. Today, though, I'm in the Caribbean island of Puerto Rico. Do you hear that sound? That whistle? That's actually the sound of a small tree frog that's indigenous to this area, and that's their song that they sing at night. In the States, we usually have crickets that chirp at night. But here in Puerto Rico, it's the sound of the Coqui that you hear. I have a book to read today called The Coqui and the Iguana. This is actually one of those stories that's a story within another story, but you'll see what I mean once I start reading. So this book is The Coqui and the Iguana by Alidis, Vicente, illustrated by Nancy Coate. My adventure began during the family trip in Puerto Rico to visit our relatives. I got to spend time with my cousin Sebastian. I had a lot of primos living on the island, but out of all the cousins, he was my favorite. We always played together under the palm trees while chasing little lizards around. I liked everything about the outdoors, except getting bit by mosquitoes. That part wasn't much fun. So you can imagine how nervous I was when our family said we would be taking a nighttime boat trip. Mosquitoes love to come out at night, and there are a lot of insects in Puerto Rico. Lots. Don't worry, prima, said Sebastian. La Parguera is a really cool place. You're going to love it. I wasn't so sure. When we got on the boat, it was completely dark outside. The clouds covered the moons and stars. There were no lights anywhere. All I could hear were strange animal noises, unlike anything I usually hear at home. Were they the hisses of giant snakes? Or maybe the secret language of some strange bay monster? There was no way to tell. Maybe this isn't such a good idea, I said to Sebastian. Before I could convince my family to leave, the boat set sail. The only animal sound I knew was the nightly chant of the Coqui. I never understood how such a tiny tree frog could sing so loudly. No matter how strong their voices were, I doubted a Coqui could defend me against a team of snakes and bay monsters. This place was beginning to seem creepy. I made sure I sat very close to my cousin, just in case. I was starting to think he was going all wrong about this place. What could I possibly love about being in the middle of a dark bay surrounded by mysterious creatures? Then he took out his flashlight. "Watch this," he said. Sebastian quickly flickered the light on all the trees surrounding the boat as it crept quietly through the water. What I saw was awesome. There were huge trees all around us. I could see the roots twisting and turning as they crawled above the ground before disappearing into the water. There were even bats, snakes, and iguanas lying on the branches. "I didn't know iguanas slept in trees," I exclaimed. "Not so loud," Sebastian whispered. "You don't want to bother the animals. The coquis are singing the iguanas to sleep." "The coquis don't put them to sleep, Sebastian," I said. "Coquis just like to sing in the dark." That's when my primo told me the story of the coqui and the iguana, and it went something like this. During a especially dark, hot summer night. The sun went to sleep on the horizon of the sea. The moon, La Luna, was taking a nap behind some very big clouds. Down below, the bay of La Parguera rested, surrounded by the long and winding branches of the mangroves. On one of the branches lay an iguana. The iguana had eaten too much fruit for dinner and was falling asleep. Listening to the song of the coqui filled the air. Coqui, coqui, it whistled. It was the most peaceful melody the iguana had ever heard. Suddenly, the singing stopped. The iguana woke up to listen closely. It was of no use. The coqui went silent. The iguana looked for the coqui, but it was so dark he couldn't see him. Coqui, coqui, where are you? Why have you stopped singing? I'm over here, whispered the coqui from a nearby branch. I'm scared of the dark. I know I shouldn't be, because coquis only sing at night, but La Luna is my nightlight, and she's gone away. I can't sing without her. The iguana had a plan. Don't worry, Coqui. I can make the Luna come out, but I can get a nightlight for you. The iguana went down to the edge of the bay water and wiggled its tail. Magically, the water began to glow with all different colors. The iguana asked the fish to dance together to make the light shine even brighter. Thank you, iguana. How did you do that? Asked the coqui. Coqui, even in the darkest places, there's always light. This is some of the most special water in the world. It's a perfect place for us. You have no reason to be afraid here. So the coqui sang the night away without any fear as the iguana fell sound asleep. After Sebastian told me the story, he filled a bucket with water from La Parguera and dipped my hand in it. The water began to glow, just like in the story. I couldn't believe it. If a tiny coqui uses this as a nightlight, why can't I wonder? Suddenly, it wasn't dark anymore. All the mosquitoes buzzing around me weren't such a big deal. Until this day, when you visit the bay at night, the water will explode with color. And if you listen really closely, you'll hear the coqui singing a lullaby to the iguana and to you. The coqui and the iguana.